That is great music.
Well,
it's hard to get you in a good mood, Petey.
Music to get me going.
It's all good. Thank you all so much for tuning into the PHNX Coyotes podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Petey, Craig. We got Danielle behind the Mac. And you know what time it is. It's time for our weekly segment with Pete Blackburn and DJ Bean of What Chaos For. Chaos Theory and Shawn DePaz. I didn't forget about you, Shawn. I promise. Pete and DJ, welcome back.
Hit that shit again. That was hard. Say that again.
You'll hear it again. You'll hear it again.
All right, good.
Little quiz show music.
Yeah, because we got trivia for you guys again. I hope you're ready.
Are you going to be throwing anything live?
Are we going to be throwing anything live? No, not yet.
Oh, no.
Disappointing.
Once we start doing more Pro Shop Wars, we'll just have too much stuff. So we'll just start throwing coffee mugs.
When you're getting ready to do this, a little peek behind the curtain, inside baseball for the listeners, I threw a water bottle because it felt like a rock and roll thing to do, and that is my general disposition.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, I know you guys finished recording your show, and then the Ottawa Senators fired their coach. So we got to talk about it since you haven't had the chance to talk about it. We haven't had the chance to talk about it. And of course, the Senators are playing the Coyotes tomorrow night. So DJ Smith fired by Ottawa. Your initial reactions?
I feel like we should.
I have been clamoring for this.
Yeah.
I've been clamoring for this for a while since we saw the last Michael Landauer press conference. I feel bad that DJ Smith is the victim here, but
he's not a victim.
From the last, right? I mean, everybody wins. But from the last time I heard Senators owner Michael Landauer speak, I wanted anything that could result in another Michael Landauer press conference because that guy is, Pete and I have discussed this more often than we should, the most electric personality in the NHL, other than Tate McRae, probably the face of the NHL right now. So every time the Senators lose, which is very often, we've said press conference time, it's press conference time, baby.
Yeah, I was on the maybe make a coaching change train at the end of last season. I think this is a long time coming. I can't believe that he's the 5th coach that's been fired so far this season, if you count Mike Babcock. So that's 5. So I cannot believe that he is that high up on the list. So, I think that it's due for a change. I'm glad that it's happened because I always feel bad about being hey, you got to fire this guy. That kind of train, just because I don't want to root for anybody to lose their job, but DJ Smith has had this coming for a while.
Yeah, it's of course though the Coyotes get to play the Senators right after.
Yeah, maybe they get the coaching bump. I gotta ask you this though, because we've talked about this on the show a few times. For the past 2 seasons, Ottawa, at least north of the border, the hype around the Ottawa Senators, from my perspective, hasn't matched what they actually have to offer on the ice. Just curious for your perspective on how much better the Ottawa Senators actually should be than they are right now.
Well, I agree with you. There's some cellar dweller fatigue there, which is it's time now, right? And it's is it? And they make the DeBrincat move, and that was really exciting, and it felt like they were kind of trying to skip 2 or 3 years of the process, but that doesn't always happen super easily. I didn't expect them to be very good this year. I didn't expect them to be a playoff team. I didn't expect them to be horrible. And them and at points, earmuffs, Shawn, the Sabres have been those kind of cellar dwellers in the Atlantic.
I think with teams like the Senators and Sabres, people are really eager to be first on the they're going to be good train with when they have young players and there's sort of a spark that you see every once in a while. I think that the Senators should be way better. They should not be last in the Eastern Conference. They should be way better than they are right now. I like a lot of their young talent. And I think the biggest problem that I've had with them over the past 2 years is just like, maybe they don't have the best roster as a whole, but their coaching and the system is not getting the best out of the talented players that they have on the roster. And you see like that may have cost them a chance at keeping DeBrincat beyond that 1 year rental. And, when you have young talent and you're not maximizing it, that feels like a waste. And it's been so frustrating. And it's been tough to watch the Senators because of that. So do I think that they can be a lot better? Yes. Do I think that, maybe they were a little bit overhyped? Yeah, but like not by much, because we still have no idea what this team's potential is under a good coach.
So is Jacques Martin the guy to unlock that potential?
PD has thoughts, I know.
Buddy, he hasn't been coached as a head coach in this league for over 10 years. Like, what the? Buddy, he started in 1986. I was in high school. Like, enough of Jacques Martin. He's been an assistant coach for 11 years. Really? He was in juniors last year.
I was going to say, full disclosure, I'm coming straight from therapy, so I have been extremely off the grid as this has happened. I got out of therapy, was driving over here, saw the texts of like, wow, they fired DJ Smith, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, cool, ready to go. Let's talk about Michael Andlauer. It's Jacques Martin.
Yeah.
That is objectively hilarious.
Especially like with it being a young team.
Yeah.
A young team and have the interim coach just be the oldest guy that you can find in the league is the best.
Yeah, that's
literally.
Literally,
he's 71 years old. Listen, I don't want to get ageist here, right? But he's 71 years old, and like you said, is he really a
young team? Stutzla, Tkachuk, even Chychrun, they're young guys, and we've seen the evolution of coaches coaching younger players, and Jacques Martin doesn't fit in that. So interim, I can buy it, but I don't expect the coaching bump that you see from other guys. That this guy's coaching us now, this will be great. I don't see that.
How soon do you think like the next guy comes in? I would imagine that this is a very short interim.
You think they do something else this season?
Yeah, like I mean, you have Berube on the market. You've got your options. Again, he's the fifth coach fired, so there are guys who, if they want to bounce back, they can hire.
But
somebody.
When that's happened, though, they've done that in one move. Like I'm thinking of when the Canadians did it. Like that's someone's available. We want. Coach, you're fired. This guy's coming in.
Right. And like they hired Jacques Martin like what, 3 weeks ago to like oversee the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
And so, my question is why didn't you fire him weeks ago?
Right.
But we can all agree that it was an overdue firing. But like if you bring in a guy to kind of like oversee the transition, you're already planning on the next guy. Just fire him there.
Right.
Yeah, and then it makes you think, did they lose their runway? Because a few weeks ago, they were like, I don't know, it was earlier in the season. Maybe they could have come back from it. Now you look at their record and you think, what is there even to gain at this
They do
point?
still have a bunch of games in hand, but yeah, you're right. I mean, they're so far down. You even see it with Edmonton, right? They go on an 8-game winning streak, and then you lose 2 straight, and you're still well up the pace. When you
also, I believe I saw that DJ Smith coach practice this morning.
Well, Craig was
really
there.
Yeah.
Craig, that wasn't him, was it?
On the ice for part of practice,
He was?
yes.
Okay, because Craig actually saw it with his own 2 eyes in Arizona.
Oh, damn. That's right. People forget they're playing each other.
Not us.
A lot of things get forgotten here in Arizona.
Probably learned this by now, but the hockey universe revolves around the Coyotes.
Yeah.
So.
I'll tell you what. We watched the Coyotes game. I don't want to tell tales out of school. We went to a little bar, and we watched the Coyotes game on Friday night. A little misbehaving from the boys, and that's the end of that story. No, we saw the Coyotes win solely due to video review, and that was the coolest hockey we've ever seen.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, a 1-0 win and a 2-0 win. It was a really thrilling weekend.
Shout out Hunter.
Hunter Cherney, PD's successor.
Yeah, Hunter Cherney.
They grow up so fast.
They do.
Oh, is there like is there bad? I'm sure you would say it if there were. Is there like a little rivalry there?
No, he just took my job that I had for 23 years, and then he stepped in. That's all. That's all good. We're good.
How do you feel that he's clearly better than you?
Yeah, clearly. Well, youth. He's got those young eyes. I'd have made the move too. Clearly,
We had a lot of discourse around those video reviews at the bar.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like heated back and forth.
It was a really crazy scene. We were three guys at a bar watching sports, and I swear to God, we were swapping opinions. We were looking at the game and saying what we thought of it.
Wow, that's really groundbreaking stuff.
A couple of times we raised our voices. It was kind of a scene.
Oh my gosh. Well, we want to ask you guys about your most recent road trip to Columbus.
We just told you that was it.
That was it.
I'm kidding.
Well,
the bar?
So Craig still has some trauma from the time the Coyotes lost 8-2 to the Columbus Blue Jackets in Columbus and the Cannon.
Carter Hutton
going
PTSD, yes.
Going off 8
oh
times.
my goodness.
We saw you guys take a photo with the Columbus Cannon. What are your actual thoughts on the Cannon? Is it good or bad?
DJ violated the Cannon.
Okay.
Wow.
They said the only rule about taking a picture with the Cannon is don't touch the Cannon. And as soon as DJ gets up,
leaned immediately.
as soon as DJ gets to the Cannon, he just leans on it like full lean.
I said there's 2 rules. 1, don't touch the Cannon. 2, don't give someone rules while they're trying to decide their pose for a picture.
Oh my god!
There's a whole set of rules around
somebody
the Cannon,
in line for the Cannon photo like fucking yelled at me. They were like, hey, don't touch the Cannon. And she said, most amazing thing ever. If they lose, it's your fault. If the Columbus Blue Jackets lose a game, it is me, David Bean. It is my fault.
Yeah.
So I was like, my tongue was bleeding from how badly I was biting it. But we had the Blue Jackets rock. We had such a fun time with
the Cannon stinks though. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Too loud. It scared all of us. Shawn was like
every
jittery.
time.
Yeah. No good.
Okay, so we're all in agreement then.
I'm in agreement on that. And by the way, there's a few other things that could contribute to the Columbus Blue Jackets losing other than you touching the Cannon. Anyway,
I don't know. I think it was a lot. Like I was getting looks every time. Every time Johnny Gaudreau gave the puck to the other team and Jack Hughes scored, they were showing me on the jumbotron and would boo this man. I did want to mention, because we forgot to say it on our own show, we were telling all our fun stories from Columbus, getting into trouble, watching hockey in a bar. Forgot to mention, Shawn and I were on the big screen and we killed that shit. Shawn was like doing the camera guy was like right in front of Shawn, getting him. I was hanging on his shoulder. Shawn was going like this with the jersey. We looked amazing. And then when we were at the bar after, 2 locals came up to us and were like, hey, are you, and not to puff out our chests, every now and then we'll get the, hey, I like whatever piece of content you've made, nice to meet you sort of thing. They came up to me and Shawn and they were like, hey, were you guys on the jumbotron? And we were like, yeah. And they were like, oh man, that was us, you guys killed it.
Big fan of your content.
Yeah, truly. It was awesome.
I was in the bathroom while they were on the jumbotron.
That's tragic.
Stop right there. Yeah. I got to ask this. You're New England guys, so I can probably guess where you sit on this, but first of all, did you go to
stinks.
What?
Oh, wait, no, go on. Sorry.
Tim Hortons has a location right inside Nationwide Arena. I'm first of all, did you go there? Secondly, Tim's what was that, Shawn?
He said,
you watch your mouth.
No, he's asking a question. He's not making a statement.
A question. Tim's or Dunkin?
I mean, you want violation talk? I was straight up eating those Timbits is what we were doing. We went there, got Timbits, got coffee. The coffee's trash.
But
the
coffee's tough.
The coffee is like Dunkin' Donuts level, or Dunkin', I'm sorry, level fare. It's not supposed to be great.
It seems like it's Dunkin' level fare, but like is trying to mask that it might be a little bit worse. It is the hottest coffee that I've ever gotten in my life. It is the Seinfeld level hot.
That's the thing in general. Starbucks needs to chill with that thing, with that too. Starbucks like thinks that you want the hottest coffee in the world. Fuck, like I always have to get cold brew now.
But like Starbucks intentionally burns its beans.
Well, they burn it like in an
artsy
pre-process, and then when they make it, they just like overdo it to high heavens. This is high-end coffee talk from the coffee boys.
Tim Hortons seems like they literally make their coffee at the highest possible temperature in humanity, and it's like impossible to drink.
And when you did like the artisanal craft cocktails where they'll put something on top and like light a leaf on fire on top and be like, oh, now it's good. Like Tim Hortons was doing that. Sean's looking at me like he's gonna kill me. Tim Hortons was just doing that, but like raw dogging it. They were just going straight from. They were just taking like a torch and putting it on top of the coffee.
Yeah,
make it extra hot on top.
It was not like one of those little clicky handheld things. Yeah. It was like an actual blowtorch.
First off, Tim Hortons is made fresh. Their coffee's made fresh every 20 minutes, so that's probably why it was so hot. Secondly, Dunkin tastes like actual dishwater, so it blows.
I'm not going to bat for Dunkin. Yeah, they're both on the bad category. I will say Timbits probably are better than Munchkins.
And they made us wait 9.5 hours for our Timbits, which is not a thing. I've been to Tim Hortons many a time, had never experienced the Timbits. It's going to be another 25. Is that cool? And we were like, we did so much. Like, fortunately, the amount of work we do is we did a lot of work out there, but we also found moments where we were like, one, just absolutely waste a half an hour. And
we watched an entire youth hockey game at Nationwide Arena.
It was the best. But they gave us fresh Timbits, and Shawn was hyping the fuck out of the birthday cake Timbits. And I was all excited. I was like, I never had these before. Let me get them. And as I was about to order them, I realized Shawn, everybody knows this famously, Shawn does not like chocolate. Mm-hmm. So as I was ordering, I was like, wait.
Among other things.
Yeah. Are these good or are they just not chocolate? And it's like the best non-chocolate item. So I was like, by the time I got them, I was like, these aren't even going to be that good. Those things were outstanding. Like my favorite of the Timbit flavors.
My favorite were the peppermint chocolate. So good.
Great.
Wow.
Huh. I don't think I've had that one, but I will agree. Nope. I mean, I'm a Canadian, so I'm team Tim Hortons all the way. And in the summer, an ice cap from Tim Hortons, nothing beats it. So there you go.
A French vanilla ice cap, Leah. You are talking my language.
Yeah. Shawn also sent me a photo every time you guys were at Tim Hortons this weekend. So
we saw him. We saw him pull out the phone and point it at the wall. What the hell is going on here? We're at a Tim Hortons.
I'm glad we're on the topic of Shawn.
Me too, because I think it's time for trivia. So Danielle, let's bring back the fun music because it's trivia Monday.
How well do you know Shawn?
Yes, and the theme is Shawn trivia. How well do you know your coworker Shawn? You already know.
I love this.
I mean, call us Jennifer Aniston and Kevin Spacey because I feel Pete and I are about to look like a couple of horrible bosses. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yep, so Shawn trivia, you already know that he doesn't like chocolate. That's not one of the questions. So, let's get started. Question 1, Danielle, pull it up. What do we got? What is Shawn's cat's name?
Hector.
Bubbles.
Wow.
DP. Great name.
Shawn's name.
DP. PHNX, we all know that, right?
Yes.
It's Baby.
It's Baby.
It's Baby. Baby is his cat.
Okay.
So I do know that Shawn had told me this at some point.
Yeah, you just don't pay
attention. That's a good name. I like that name.
Yeah, for the record, I didn't name her. It was what they named her at the rescue. Shout out Heidi's Village, and I just kept it because it fits
I respect the loyalty to the original name. People like to be like, these are my rules.
Well,
let's confuse the poor animal.
The reason I've told you the story before is because originally I was going to go get another cat with the intention. It was a boy that I was adamant on naming Turco after Marty Turco.
Nice.
But that cat unfortunately had feline leukemia. Long story, so I ended up with another cat. Baby was
what an uplifting segment this is. Thanks, Shawn.
Next question. What is Shawn's least favorite animal disease?
It's swine flu because I had it in elementary school.
Jesus. Oh my God.
I had a cat that I named Bridget when it was a kitten. Thought it was a girl. Turns out it had a penis. Had a cat penis. And that cat lived for like 18 years as a man with the name Bridget.
I love when names though that are like typically affixed to whatever. Like fuck any of that heteronormative shit. So like I like that.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Are we ready for question number 2?
Craig, you have to ask this one.
Okay, I'll read it. Go ahead, Danielle. Which NBA player does Shawn incorrectly view as the greatest of all time?
I mean, this is crazy because Shawn is an extremely pragmatic sports fan, and I feel like I've had a lot of conversations with you about non-hockey sports. And while you're a very passionate fan, I like that we can like typically fall back on all these other idiots are fucking crazy. So I would think you'd feel LeBron is the best basketball player of all time. Please tell me.
Damn straight he is. He's the best player, the most advanced version of the sport. Thus, he is the best player of all time.
Wait, so you lot.
Craig, who just so happens to be from Chicago, just so happens to think that Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. Okay.
I would be... I don't have a strong feeling either way, but like saying that he's wrong and putting it on the cue card in Jeopardy, that's a crazy move. LeBron is for sure in the discussion of best.
Finally, I have coworkers who have my back and don't forget me.
I was trying to think. I was like, what basketball player like has some connection to Buffalo? Because Shawn loves every person to an insane degree who has like ever even touched the city of Buffalo.
And while we're doing Jeopardy, and looking really smart, there should not be a hyphen in of all time there. Woo! If it were, who does he think is the all-time greatest?
Is that what it said? I copied and pasted right from the question.
I think there was problems with the editing because I don't know where incorrectly came from.
It's a software thing. Fucking autocorrect.
Software. Yep. We're blaming software.
All right, next question.
I love that you guys tried to like put us in a position where we would kind of fight and get like divorced here, and we threw it right back on you. Now you guys have to fight about punctuation.
Fair enough. All right, next question. Shawn is actually his middle name. What's his first name?
Eric. I think we don't book his flights.
We book his flights.
They had booked my flights recently, and I had to make sure that they knew my first name was Eric.
All right. Well,
can you say motherfuckers on Jeopardy?
They really do care.
You are 2 for 3.
Yeah, really good.
All right. Next question. All right. How many siblings does Shawn have, and where does he fall in the birth order?
Now there's baby. There was another one, but it had cat leukemia.
That's a tough one. Yeah. That is a tough one.
I'm going to do a cop-out and guess he's an only child.
I was going to say, I think this is a trick question. He's an only child.
Wrong. He's not. Damn. He has 2 siblings. He's the oldest.
You're the oldest?
I have 2 younger sisters.
Okay. All right.
Wow. Wait, you only have sisters?
Yes.
Gang.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, whoa.
Look at us.
No, not a single.
We're helping you guys learn about each other.
Grew up with like male peers.
Yes, it does. It really does.
Sure does.
You've heard of girl dads.
Nobody was around to beat us up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I was going to say, A, we listen, and B, we've never gotten our asses kicked.
At least not in our family.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we ready for the next one?
I hope you have 100 more of these.
Yeah.
It's strange. There was an edit here as well.
Oh, this is
Shawn Newhouse School.
The original wording was
Cronkite undergraduate school.
We'll even give you the Cronkite thing because he's got a Cronkite mug.
Yeah, the Cronkite School at Syracuse University.
Yeah, it was Cronkite.
No,
it's
Syracuse.
Cronkite is ASU?
Cronkite was his.
That was his
master's.
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Syracuse.
Yeah. We got it.
Well, then we know both schools.
He brought that mug. Couldn't bring the goddamn mug I gave him for Christmas.
Yeah, Shawn, you left your mug.
I was looking for that the other day. I left it there. I was going crazy. I swear to God, I was going through all of my shit, looking for that specific mug the other day.
It's in Syracuse orange with your head on it, and you left it
at my desk.
Yeah,
this is such a good acting job by Shawn earlier in this week. He was like, "I hope those
I need new mugs. I'm trying to reset."
Stupid mugs.
There's like shitty mugs behind.
Like all the dissension occurring here.
Everything at
PHNX.
I
wanted to bring a mug into the studio, and I was
everyone is fighting now. This is good. This is
he
what
said. I've left Phoenix and fittingly burned all my old mugs, and now I will rise with a new collection. Because fuck that one that Petey gave me.
We'll ship it to you. We will ship it to you so DJ can throw it on set.
Please do.
We're going to do at some point with glass. We're going to, sorry to the building if they're hearing this. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to pull a Ryan Howard from The Office on drugs, finish the beer, smash it down. I did do that at one point in my life with a whiskey bottle. Thought it would feel amazing. And all I wanted to do was clean up afterwards.
Yeah, same. Yeah, that would be my anxiety. Yeah.
Yep, I have that same anxiety. Okay. All right. Next question. In what field did Shawn earn his undergraduate degree?
It's advertising.
Wow.
Marketing.
Nailing this.
I honestly didn't know that you knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure I had told you because I tell most people most things about my life, but
it was
I just didn't realize it.
It was like the first thing, for some reason, that like we talked about.
Advertising major, poli-sci minor. Fun fact.
Hey, Shawn, before we get to the last 2 questions, I just want to ask, Does it feel good not to be forgotten behind the Mac on this show?
Yeah, finally. I mean, I spent the last 2 to 3 years with a host who barely remembered my name, so it's really nice that the host of this show they look out for me.
All right.
Shawn has an unreasonable / extreme fear, disdain for this animal. What is it?
Let me be clear. There is no fear, only disdain. I do not. I do not fear this animal.
I sensed a little fear. We talked about an encounter with this particular animal, and you wanted no part of it. So just saying.
Yeah, because they don't deserve time with me.
All right, Pete, you trying to do some deductive reasoning?
Yeah.
Shawn knows these people from being in Arizona.
Yeah.
Could it have come up because, I saw a snake or I saw a
good reasoning
fucking frogs? What do you guys have?
I'll tell you this right now. It is not
Cougars?
that. It is not that normal.
It's not that normal?
It is not that normal.
Is it like a...
it's bizarre.
Is it dog?
Only at a zoo. A zoo or
you can only see it in a zoo?
Or another country.
Or another country that is not here that's way down under.
A kangaroo?
No, close.
Split it up, Daniel.
Koala?
It's koala.
It's a koala.
Which
I don't know if you knew this, but almost all wild koalas have chlamydia. They're They are one of the most aggressive animals on the planet. They also sleep like 20 out of 24 hours a day. Why, you might ask? Because they eat eucalyptus that has no nutritional value and is so bad for you, in fact, that it is poisonous. And so when baby koalas are born, they can't eat eucalyptus because, again, it is poisonous. So what do they do to adjust their stomachs to eucalyptus? They latch themselves to their parents' assholes and eat their parents' shit so they can get used to what is in eucalyptus. They're some of the worst animals of all time.
This is like an X-rated Phantom Thread.
I'll be honest with you. You just sold me on that not being unreasonable.
They
in
are
13
awful.
seconds.
They're one of the worst animals ever. Go look up a video of koala bears fighting. The sounds that they make are ungodly.
I did know that they had all of them basically had chlamydia because Tom Segura just had recently a pretty good bit about it.
That just scratches the surface.
Wow.
Oh boy. Okay. And Shawn also conveniently left his koala statue in Arizona with the mug, so I see how it is.
I one of two. I have a koala statue with me in my apartment on top of my fridge.
Wait, which one do you have?
The one that showed up on my desk mysteriously one day.
The light up, the
one from literally from Australia.
That we brought back from Australia.
I'll make sure it gets back to you. Don't worry.
That's incredible.
Okay. Last question. How many different looks has Shawn had in his PHNX tenure?
The limit does not exist.
That is the correct
that
answer.
Is the correct
That
answer.
is the correct answer.
Wow.
And we have some images here.
Oh, God.
Of all of Shawn's
Holy wow.
I didn't realize y'all are doing all this.
Damn.
Look at that Slim Shady looking ass in the middle.
I mean, right. So Slim Shady is the funniest one for sure.
That was a bet that I lost to one of my co-hosts because of Joe Burrow.
That you couldn't look like Slim Shady?
Top left has to be like one of your first 5 days on the job, right? Yeah.
First 5 days alive.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
bottom left, I can see some of these straight up do not look like you.
The important thing here is that with each one, you are progressing in the right direction.
That is their chronological order.
So that's good.
I guess that is. I guess I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I mean,
I just know I can't go back.
Sir, you have arrived.
I appreciate that.
But folks, you probably don't know this. Do you know about the hot tub effect?
I don't.
No.
Probably not. Pete and I are the only two humans in the world who know about it. But
I'm pretty sure because you made it up.
Yeah, you know when you're in a hot tub and after a while it doesn't feel so hot anymore. So what do? You get out, you go into the pool for a second.
Yes.
That feels super cold. Then when you get back into the hot tub, the water feels hot again, correct?
Yes.
Fair.
There's a thing, for sure it's a thing, in humanity where when you've had the same look for a while and you want to feel hot again, you intentionally make yourself a little uglier. You change your look for a week, a month. I'm on like 11 years of doing it right now myself. I'm invested in this method. And then when you go back to looking the way you looked before, people are like, wow, glow up. So Shawn, if you're ever not feeling super confident, tap back into, not that those were horrible looks, but like tap back into one of those less perfect ones.
Oh, no, some of them were awful for sure. I think I'm going to shave my mustache. I think that's what I learned from those pictures.
I think Shawn's looks are like Tom Brady's favorite Super Bowls. His favorite, the best one is the next one.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts for the next one?
I think I'm going to get cornrows and shave my mustache.
All right.
All right. There you go.
All right.
Bold.
Well, that's Shawn trivia. We hope you enjoy.
This is better than anything we've done on any show, yours or ours or anybody's.
I know I'm a little biased, but I very much enjoyed that.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh, boy. All right. Well, before we let you go, what do you guys have on the horizon that people can look forward to on your show?
Nothing. We're just going to,
cool.
We re-rack all this and then play it during our show. We're like, hey, in case you missed it, this is what we've been up to. No, tomorrow we've got a sit down with Adam Fantilli. That is excellent. He's awesome. We did a bunch of stuff in Columbus, obviously content-wise, so that's coming. We've got the latest episode of our Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want, social series, Pro Shop Wars, in which we go to a pro shop with the same budget to see who can get the best haul. I don't know if we should give away which pro shop we did it in for this week, but it's a really fun one. And if you haven't seen the first one that we did in Chicago, subscribe on Instagram, TikTok, wherever, and you can find that.
We're also creating the legitimacy of hat tricks now, and there were 2 over the weekend. So, if whenever there's a hat trick, you know where to come to. We're giving grades on their actual legitimacy
based on empty net goal,
quality of goal.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, was the sit down with Fantilli before or after he became the 4th line left wing?
That was before.
Okay.
Shut up, man. It was before. But it's okay. Some of his teammates had worse games than him on Saturday, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, getting separated from Johnny Gaudreau at this point is probably not a demotion, even if it's to the 4th line.
We're Fantilli guys. He's fantastic. He gives us, so we're well known in North America for incredible icebreaker questions in our interviews. His answer to our first question, which of course wasn't a question, is like the best intro we've had on one of these things. And if you go back through ours, there have been some really good ones. Fantilli takes the cake though, so you're not going to want to miss this.
All right. Awesome. Well,
what do you guys have coming up?
Oh, just...
We're just being polite.
Yeah, HK.
Yeah, who cares? Coyotes Senators
Petey's going to shit on reverse VH.
Yeah.
And
Yes. Uncle, I'm done.
You weren't wrong on that.
Yeah, Petey.
But you're 6'5", it should never go over your shoulder, ever.
Thank you. I have been crusading. I have been on a mission on your behalf to spread the gospel
Shawn
of the
standing on a street corner.
That's why there aren't North American goalies on the top of the list of the goaltenders anymore. That's why it's Shesterkin. That's why it's Sorokin, because they don't learn that when they're 6 and stay down when they're 5 foot. Anyway,
we were considering having you on to just do like a segment on that, explaining it to people.
Yeah.
But you're like, do we do information?
No. Do we do valuable content?
I don't know if
You
we're
need
like
a
an information
magician.
podcast.
We
yet.
know one.
Literally no one cares. I'm okay with that. That's okay. I have these little rants, and I just do that. It's almost like in a vacuum at times. So no,
So it's
don't.
all good.
And your 2 co-hosts are anti-rantas from you. So
Wow.
the goaltending pun.
Nice.
I'm so fucking smart.
That was really good.
Oh, look, your time's up.
All right. On that note, thanks
Look
so
at the time.
much, Pete, DJ, and Shawn. We appreciate
Thanks,
you.
guys.
And we'll see you
Love
next
you
week.
guys.
Love it. Bye.
Bye. Oh, man. Thank you to the What Chaos crew.
What Chaos? If you're not listening to What Chaos,
It's
why
so
aren't you?
funny. I laugh every time I
The What
watch.
Chaos show, the national all-city show for hockey.
Live Monday through Thursday, every single day. You can check them out on YouTube or
That's what John
wherever
said.
you
Who are
get
they?
your podcasts. Yes.
John says, who are they?
Pete Blackburn, DJ Bean, Shawn DePaz, the crew of What Chaos and All City
They make hockey
show.
fun.
They do.
Yeah, this is a great.
Kind of like the
It really
antithesis to this show.
Oh my gosh, stop it. I don't know how much the Suns are making basketball fun these days, but I highly recommend checking them out.
Who's got a better record right now?
A lot of teams.
Arizona.
No, but I mean,
They were
Coyotes
this close
or
to being a
Suns?
500 team after a loss
Coyotes
to
or
the
Suns?
4-win Wizards.
Arizona's Family Sports, where you can watch the Phoenix Suns. They
tune
play
in.
their next game tomorrow on Arizona Family Sports at 8 p.m. So if you're wondering, where do I find this? Wherever you live in Arizona, visit azfamily.com and click Suns games for listing information for your area. AZ Family is a great resource to help you find Phoenix Suns games on Arizona Family Sports. And if you want to bank like one Craig Morgan.
Who doesn't want to bank?
Who doesn't
like
want?
Craig?
I want to bank like Craig. Check out
Yeah.
Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's largest, most trusted credit union. And especially this holiday season, if you're looking for a little bonus cash, when you open a free checking account
What do you get?
online, you get $200 in bonuses over at Desert Financial Credit
That'll
Union.
take care of my
So
Christmas
get
right
started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200.
or better known as.
And remember, if it's good enough for Craig, it's probably too good for you.
There you go. All right, let's talk a little bit more NHL news. The Winnipeg Jets, at one point, were leading the Central Division in the last week.
And they can get back there tonight.
They can.
I thought that Kyle Connor was going to make it. Like, I thought that they were going to start sinking. I thought that was the
Kyle
plan.
Connor out 6 to 8 weeks. Before the season started, first of all, no one knew what to make of it. Then they re-signed Hellebuyck. They re-signed Scheifele. All of a sudden, you're thinking, this is interesting. And man, they were off from there, and they are one of the best teams in a top-heavy Central Division. Are you guys surprised? Like, is this
expected? Surprised? Like, I've said this on the show multiple times. I don't think the Winnipeg Jets are that good. At this point, I'm probably wrong because they're hitting the 30-game mark. I think they play the Canadiens tonight, and they can move back into first place in the Central, ahead of the Colorado Avalanche, ahead of the Dallas Stars. Now, mind you, the point totals are not quite as high as the other divisions, but still, this team has a plus 21 goal differential right now. Why are the Winnipeg Jets this good? And as you mentioned, Kyle Connor's out now. Why are they this good? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're 9-4-1 on the road.
And you look at Hellebuyck, and he's a guy that he's got an under 3 save goals against. He's over 917 save percentage, which are good numbers.
Yeah,
they're good.
They're not elite though.
They're not elite. They're good. And this is the team that gets their scoring balanced. We looked at Kyle Connor, who still leads this team in goals, even though he's played fewer games now. He's been out for 3. They're getting balanced scoring. They play hard. And they play north-south. I mean, this is a team that plays really quick and fast, and they can play with a little bit of an edge, a little heavier. And I know, like we talk about, the Coyotes have trouble with teams that play like that. This Jet team is for real now. They're second in the Central Division, which you said they had an opportunity to move into first. I didn't have them that high in the division. I thought the Minnesota Wild would be where they are. And I thought the Coyotes would be battling it out with Winnipeg as one of that middle tier. And so this is a surprise to me. I will say their head coach in Rick Bowness, I believe in Rick Bowness. I would play hard for Rick Bowness. I'd go through a brick wall for him. And I think with his departure for medical issues with his wife, and upon his return, they have really taken it to a new level. Like they've really jump-started from his return. So it's a team to keep your eye on in the Central Division, and it's absolutely a team to keep your eye on in the West, because the West, again, is top-heavy, and I don't think that middle tier is going to be able to get over when it comes to playoff time, and the Jets are going to be there.
Yeah,
Jets
absolutely.
are a playoff team.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Well, keeping with the West, there have been some key goalie injuries.
Yeah.
Makes you feel, as a Coyotes fan, happy to have the goaltending that the Coyotes have had, especially when you look around the rest of the league at Carolina, specifically Edmonton, some goaltender struggles. But unfortunately for Dallas, Jake Ottinger is out with an injury. And,
week to week is after tests. So I guess they avoided the worst case scenario, but still, week to week is not great for your top guy.
It's not. And Hill as well.
Have you seen anything on Adin Hill yet? A report? Because he left the game last night, and he had the injury before.
Yeah, I have not.
And it's crazy and I know we're going to talk goalies anyway, but roll this into what's going on around the league with goaltending right now. It's like quarterbacks now. There aren't enough of them to even fill teams at this point.
What changed? Is it the schedule is more difficult? Is the style of play that they're playing with being up and down more difficult on their joints, their knees, their hips, their ankles, and thus they're more prone to injury? Is the refereeing and the league not protecting goaltenders through the blue paint? What is leading? Because you got to have 3 goalies now. Yeah, and the Coyotes, luckily, knock on wood, they've been able to get through this point in the season with 2. Most teams have been at least 3 deep by now. So I don't know what the answer is, but you're right. You see some teams last year going 4, 5, 6 deep. Vegas,
yeah.
And they end up winning the cup. So I don't know what it's going to have to get looked at. What's going on with these goaltenders? Because once the Dallas, you lose Ottinger. Ottinger's a big deal there.
He is.
He's the one they rely on to get them to be a Stanley Cup favorite. Nothing against Scott Wedgwood, but he's not a guy I don't think that can lead him to the promised land. I think he's a stopgap, and he can get him through a few weeks. They signed a free agent college kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see what happens to them. But if they can play 500, they'll be okay.
It's big teams too. Like we're talking about Vegas and Dallas there. Carolina's got issues. Ante Ranta's with the Chicago Wolves now.
Yeah.
Edmonton has goaltending issues. These are all teams we were talking about as cup contenders, and now it's like, wow, it's a crazy situation in your own team, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I mean, you credit them to me all the time, but I'm a hater.
You're a Pittsburgh Penguin fan. I forgot.
Yeah. I'm only a Leafs fan during the playoffs when like the Coyotes are not in the playoffs. So there you go.
Like, look at their crazy situation though. Martin Jones,
33 years old.
Is he back? I mean, it's way too small a sample to say, but he's played really well for them.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that happens with Toronto with all their problems with goaltending, and
Martin
suddenly Martin Jones becomes your savior?
I mean, look at again, going back to Vegas, who of us thought Adin Hill was the guy?
Right.
Like we saw him here in Arizona, and nothing against Adin Hill, but like he's no Andre Vasilevsky. So all of a sudden he's winning them a Stanley Cup. Who's to say Martin Jones can't for the Leafs? Although the Leafs, I think, have other issues, but that's for another day. But yeah, the goaltending situation, and like Jack Campbell's down in the American Hockey League, but he got pulled, I think, over the weekend. Like he's not
playing well down there either.
He's struggling. So man, it's just an interesting situation.
Underscores why the Coyotes aren't trading Karel Vejmelka.
Back to that.
He's
not getting traded.
They don't have depth in their organization. They lost Ivan Prosvetov to Colorado. And right now he's the backup in Colorado. I'm still not sure that that's it. Like people, after a few good starts, people always playing really well. Well, he didn't play well the other night, and we'll see how he can sustain. I don't believe Ivan Prosvetov is a backup in the NHL at this point. There are a lot of teams with goaltending issues.
Well,
one of them is not the Arizona Coyotes, by the way.
Correct.
Connor Ingram
back shutouts, buddy.
Vaulted to the top 10 individually in most goaltending categories. Ingram's having himself a year.
Yep, NHL.com in town this week.
Ooh.
Our buddy Emily Benjamin here to do a
fun.
story on Connor Ingram. I know a lot of people have been talking about. Yeah, I mean he's earned it. He's been unbelievable.
He's been great. Connor Ingram might be the Coyotes' most valuable player this season. Yeah. And on that note, who is your most valuable player in the NHL right now, December 18th?
It ain't Connor McDavid.
Yeah, and I sat here before the season started for my heart vote. I said, oh, well, it's going to be McDavid. Don't feel that way right now.
He's not even a finalist.
Who do you guys have right now? And obviously subject to change, but who's the MVP right now in the league? If the Hart was awarded today.
I mean, the best player right now statistically is Nikita Kucherov.
Like, his team's not even in a playoff spot.
Leads in goals and points, but if you're going to be an MVP, you got to play for a better team than that, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Like individually, he's probably had the best numbers, but I don't know if he's an MVP candidate.
This is a tough one. And listen, the other thing that always bugs me about the Hart Trophy is, you can't vote for a goalie, you can't vote for a defenseman. Usually, most years, it doesn't happen because, they already have their own award, which is just a dumb answer. It's about MVP of the league. So if I had to guess right now, I'd probably pick Nate McKinnon.
You know what else would be an interesting name in that group is a team that I think surprised a lot of people this year is the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah. And you got to look at a guy like JT Miller. JT Miller, resurgent, and gosh, they don't even know if they want him around. Leads that team. He's third in the National Hockey League in points right now.
Monster season.
Unbelievable season from a guy that, I'm not sure he can play there anymore. Does he play their style of hockey? His name's absolutely got to be in the conversation.
Brock Besser, too.
Yeah, Brock Besser's been great. Elijah Peterson's been great.
I mean, I've been
wide open.
I've been staring at the NHL stat leaders, and I just don't even know.
It's not Cale Makar. And
Quinn Hughes?
Quinn Hughes got better
is a
numbers.
fair question, too, I think.
Quinn Hughes is another one.
But he's a defenseman, though.
Yeah, they got
win the Norris, so he can't win the MVP.
Yep.
Give us two defensive
and
trophies.
not only Quinn
Which
Hughes,
of those three positions plays the least amount of ice time? Forward, defense, or goalie?
Forward.
Interesting.
Wow, I didn't know where I was going, but I like it because who has the most impact on a game? And not only is Quinn Hughes putting up those kind of numbers, one thing I like about Quinn Hughes, he's plus 23.
Yeah.
So you talk about defensemen getting those kind of numbers, like that guy that used to play in San Jose plays out east now.
That guy who used to play.
You know his name. He had put up a lot of points, but he wasn't a plus player. Quinn Hughes is plus 23.
Yeah, like if you follow Mike Kelly, he'll put out a new crazy stat on Quinn Hughes every week about what he's doing offensively, driving offense. He's had an unbelievable season. I think he'd be a great choice at this point of the season.
Yeah, crazy. Let us know in the chat who your MVP is right now, and I will see if you guys agree or disagree with us. But right now, it's anybody's game. You know what else is anybody's game? The Arizona Lottery.
Hey, look at that segue.
How about that? you can win anytime you do a holiday scratcher. This is a true story. Yesterday, I went to do my grocery shopping at Fry's, and they have the big Arizona lottery machine. It's basically like a vending machine, but it's all touchscreen. And if my family's watching, spoiler alert, I literally went and I got 6 of the $1 ones and 6 of the $2 ones, and I'm putting it into one of each in every single person's stocking. And it's so fun because like you just hit the screen and it comes. It was so easy. I was walking out with my car. I was like, I'm gonna do this really quick. So I literally got every single person in my family an Arizona lottery holiday scratcher. It's just that easy. Makes the best stocking stuffer. And you can get more of the big ticket ones if you want to have more of a gift level, whatever it is. Go out and buy your holiday scratchers today. Find a retailer like our friends at Circle K near you at ArizonaLottery.com. You must be 21 or older to play. And as I mentioned, Circle K does sell Arizona Lottery scratchers. So next time you're at a Circle K, stop by, go inside, get yourself some scratchers, a snack, some drinks, whatever it is. And if you're part of the Inner Circle, there's free stuff every single day on there. 31 days of Circle K in the Inner Circle app, free prizes, snacks, weekly entry into grand prizes, as well as 25 cents per gallon off when you sign up for your first 5 fill-ups and 3 cents per gallon off every day after that. So join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details. All right. The slumping Sens, 11-15, last in their division, last in their conference, 3-7 in their last 10. GJ Smith fired. I know we just talked about this with the guys, but they come here tomorrow to face the Coyotes. And PD, I know you said you don't necessarily believe in it with this. Do you think the Coyotes should be concerned that the Senators will have the new coaching bump?
I mean, you always get that, and I think it depends how they really felt about DJ. And usually when a coach gets fired, it's a guy that's kind of lost that communication with the players. And it goes one of two ways. They're thrilled he's gone and pressure is off and they go play hard, or they really liked the guy and they feel guilty that they ruined his life and it was their fault and they go out and play hard. So you can get both responses from a coach, and that's what we talk about, the new coach bump. The one concern I have is the guy they're bringing in isn't warm and fuzzy. Yeah. And you usually bring in that warm and fuzzy guy after a guy like DJ Smith comes in, and I tell you what, Jacques Martin is not that. So I don't know. I just don't know. I don't like this. I don't think this gets Ottawa out of the cellar. Clearly, it's not a long-term solution, I don't think.
How much does structure and all of that change?
Not game one.
Yeah, not game. They didn't even have a practice. They had a morning skate today.
Nothing will change.
Yeah,
you can't change structure overnight without having practice time. And honestly, when a new coach comes in that wants to put in a new system, whether it's changing their neutral zone, their forecheck, whatever, that takes weeks, and you work on one thing at a time. You can't make drastic changes. The only thing you'll see now is guys have a little more freedom, especially on the offensive side of the puck, because no one's really keeping track of their structure today. So tomorrow against the Arizona Coyotes, the Ottawa Senators are going to have a green light to go. Like, it's going to be all fun time, Charlie. It's going to be this is going to be an up and down game. Like, look for this to be one of those speed games where pucks, Ottawa's going to look to their offense tomorrow. So I would, again, I don't know. Ingram's going in goal, so I don't want to say take the over, but this is going to be, expect to see some fun offensive hockey out of Ottawa.
So you don't think we're going to see a 1-0 or 2-0 game again?
I do not.
Yeah.
I would say this is the over tomorrow.
This is the getaway game again on this homestand. You're looking to close out a perfect homestand. They came close on a much longer one. Obviously, they'd like to have this. Going into the break, you want to get on a little bit of a roll again, like they were before they went on the road.
I think it's important they get this win.
Yeah.
It's the Ottawa Senators. I mean, I think they need to. They've had problems against some of the teams that are below them in the standings.
Agreed.
So I think this. We've talked about trap games when they played St. Louis, and this one is a game they need to. Again, I always talk about the first 10 minutes. I think the first 10 minutes of this game is going to be very telling, because you'll see where Ottawa is going to be committed to their new coach. You're going to see what kind of a push they have, or can the Coyotes jump on them in the first 10 minutes and put them away early? And honestly, that could happen for a team that's been traveling out west. They're tired and they just want to go home. So I think the Coyotes need to have a great start tomorrow. I think that's what I would look for as my key to the game. If I'm in the coaching staff, I'm going to make sure everybody's ready for the drop of the puck tomorrow.
Another huge storyline. I mean, that wasn't even the storyline until about 2 hours ago, but Jakob Chychrun, the Liver King himself, our little bobble.
And, hey, Walt Kachuk too.
Yes, he'll be at the game.
Who's also in town, yep.
Watching. Jakob Chychrun, his first time back in Arizona since getting traded to the Senators at the deadline last season. Should be interesting. Craig, I know you're planning on catching up with him.
Yeah, I got to chat with him tomorrow. I was supposed to chat today, but, some things went down with Ottawa, so they pulled back on availability a little bit. But I will get a chance to talk to Chick tomorrow and just take the temperature. He's got 9 points in 9 games this month, so he's producing offensively. Clearly, it hasn't translated into team success thus far.
I'd like to say one question for you to pose to him tomorrow, because it is his first time back in a visiting team sweater. They've got the night tonight. I'm curious to see if he goes out with some of the Coyotes for dinner, and if he did, who? Because they're still close. They still communicate. They're still friends, and I think that's a lot more common than people know, that when you go to the city you used to play in, that you meet up with your buddies and you go out to dinner.
What do you think the reaction is going to be to Chick at Mullett?
We discussed this on the post-game show on Saturday, and we put a poll in the YouTube chat. Would you boo Jakob Chychrun? And I think it was like 63% said no. I'm very curious. I think a lot of it has to do with how a thing ended, and I think there's also a lot of confusion about how it ended, because people thought that he demanded the trade when really the Coyotes had approached him about it to begin with. I know it wasn't like, he was scratched for trade-related reasons 1,000 times before he eventually got traded. It was just a weird situation.
Yeah,
but
it was.
For me, at least, at the end of the day, like, he played a huge role in this organization, and I think he meant a lot to this fan base. And if I were at the game as a fan, I would cheer for Jakob Chychrun personally. That's how I feel, but I'm really curious. I mean, Steven in the chat just said boo, so interested to get a pulse check.
Your point is really important, though. The Coyotes approached him first, right? And that's when he started thinking about it and thinking, do I want to go through another rebuild? Do I want to deal with all the stuff that this franchise has dealt with pretty much his entire career here? Jakob Chychrun goes back to the Dave Tippett days when he made the roster out of camp as a very young guy. He's watched the same things, the same storylines play out in Arizona. It's a rebuild. We don't have an arena. Still don't have an arena. Still in a rebuild. So you can understand, once they said, hey, would you be open to this, why he might start thinking about it and say, okay. Now, I know there's that media day moment, right, where he got up on the mic and he spoke from the heart. We criticize athletes a lot for speaking in cliches, and then when they're candid, we criticize them. I get it. I get why a player would not maybe want to commit their prime of their career to a team that's in a rebuild and a team that still has instability. I don't think that's unreasonable as a stance. I really don't. Now, it's crazy to think how quickly things turned with Jakob Chychrun, though, because he was, after that one season where he was in the Norris Trophy conversation, he was the guy. He was the staple. He was the foundational piece of this franchise. A year later, it's crazy how things turn in this league. It's just amazing to me.
You look at him, he was a guy that this team couldn't trade. He was the one piece you go, well, he's untradeable because of the numbers he put up that year. He was considered in the Norris conversation. The concern I have for him tomorrow is what he said in that press conference. Not only did we all hear it, his teammates at the time inside the Arizona Coyotes locker room heard it, and they weren't happy.
Nope.
And there are a lot of those guys still here.
And that's fair.
So I'm curious to see how they respond to this, because after that came out and he said it, and yes, the team approached him. We've documented that, and you've reported on that. But he didn't need to say what he said. And coming out and saying, I want to play for a winner was a mistake. And I don't know if he felt it was a mistake, but it was, because his teammates, and not us, not the fans, not the people looking on the periphery, the guys inside the locker room did not appreciate that. And we've heard that about. So I'm curious to see how they respond to this. Is it pay the piper time? I don't know.
I don't know either. And it's obviously ironic too that the Coyotes are 2 games over 500, and the Ottawa Senators is the team that, he was going to presumably to be a part of a winner. We talked about the overhyped team. Yeah, they're in last place in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. And by the way, you want to go to a drama-free organization? The Ottawa Senators are not it.
Yeah, holy.
No,
they were
that's exactly
they
right.
had all the headlines to start the season.
Yeah, so I don't know. And I know it's where his hometown is. And
it is. There's family there, and that part's cool.
And
I just still don't think he should be booed, though.
I don't either.
I think you can. I think both
I
of
don't
you.
either.
I think both of you are like. I think your point, especially with the thing he said and how his teammates reacted. Like, it's okay to have mixed feelings about him. I just don't think he deserves.
Well, and I leave that up to the players too. If I'm on the Coyotes and I'm still pissed about it, because I don't know everything that was said inside the room. Only the players do. Yep. So only the players. This is their thing. If they think, oh, we can kumbaya and hug and kiss and everything's great, fine.
Yeah.
But if the players go, you know what? He did us wrong, and now they're coming into Mullett. Get ready. Keep your head up. Keep your head up when you go back.
Have you seen that before? Have you seen that happen before? Okay.
Absolutely. You've seen that before with a guy that get traded and you go, okay, yeah, welcome back. Welcome home. Now, do I anticipate that with Chick? Probably not. But we'll see.
Roaring Fork said the Senators have arena issues too.
Exactly.
That's correct.
That's exactly right.
Canada?
Like you're going. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
one of 3 places where the location is like, what were you thinking?
Oh boy. All right. Well, before we wrap up, Craig, you did notice some different lines at practice today. Not sure if they'll be implemented tomorrow night or not, but I wanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna check in tomorrow to make sure. But first of all, Shawn Durzee's not gonna play again tomorrow, which is disappointing.
Sucks, yeah.
We've been told for a while that he's day to day. I mean, he misses any more time, and it's gonna be week to week, given the amount of time that he's missing. But yeah, I noticed that Jason Zucker was with Logan Cooley and Liam O'Brien today, but maybe it's because of that spicy tuna. What did
Jordan Schmaltz
call
say?
it?
Like the spicy
After
tuna
that
hands
backhand?
or something?
And I asked Liam about it today. I was like, "Is there a name for it?" He goes, "There's no name for that. That just happened."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But it's something for us to look at for tomorrow, for sure.
Yeah, so tomorrow will be an interesting one, absolutely. And maybe if you don't know how you're going to feel seeing Jakob Chychrun, maybe take an OGs before the game. I don't know. Chill out for a second. I actually won OGs in our holiday party raffle, which I'm really excited about. I got the Indica, the creams, and they're the minis, which I'm super excited about. I love the creams, the orange creamsicle, the blackberries and cream. So good. OGs, another great stocking stuffer for the 21 and older crowd in your life. So check out OGs wherever you buy your edibles, and they're locally scratch made as well. So make sure you check them out. And to learn more about OGs mouthwatering options and upcoming deals, head on over to ogsbrands.com. Another great gift this holiday season, Shady Rays. Great styles, so many different colors, super durable, and Shady Rays stands by their products. If you want to see them in person, you can check them out at the Kierland Commons location to try them on. But right now, for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. You can go to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. We have definitely gone over. The Suns crew is waiting to go on. So sorry, everyone. But anything else before we get out of here?
No, post game tomorrow. I think it's an important game for the Arizona Coyotes. I think this is, we don't want to say must win at this time of the season, but this is the game.
And thank you again to Pete Blackburn, DJ Bean, and Shawn DePaz for their weekly Chaos Theory segment. Always have a blast with those guys. Again, check out the What Chaos show on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And while you're on your podcasting app, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to our show as well. You can follow us on Twitter. He's at S. Peters Hockey, trying to get to 2,000 by the end of the year. I'm at Leah Merrill. He's at Craig S. Morgan. You can follow Danielle at Abraca Danielle. And you can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, everybody, and we will see you all tomorrow.